Thanks for tuning in to our First Alert Weather Plus forecast. Let's talk about what's in store for the second half of the work week and the weekend ahead of us. First of all, we know we've had really hot and dry weather. That is going to continue for the next several days. We do have triple digits in store for this weekend ahead of us, but we may have precipitation returning sometime far into the next week. Now, this is our temperature trend in Boise over the next few days. If we look at Thursday, you can see that we're in the low 90s, still slightly above average, but not too far off. By Friday, our winds shift to southerly winds. That's going to help our temperatures increase quite a bit, especially on Saturday. By the time we're expecting 99 degrees in Boise, triple digits in some parts of the Treasure Valley and the Magic Valley. Now, we could have some changes coming our way for the start of next week, starting Sunday, but that doesn't mean that it will really drop our temperatures too much because we do have this ridge of high pressure in place. This is dominating the region. That's going to continue to grow for the second half of this week. It is centered over the four corners, but it is growing so large that it is dominating most of the western half of the United States, and that will peak on Saturday as well. These are the high temps nationwide that we're expecting Saturday, so you can see most of the western half of the U.S. is looking very hot. Boise up here looking at 99 degrees, the warmest across the major cities in the Pacific Northwest, but most of the western states as well. The only warmer spots that I can see jumping out at me are Phoenix, Arizona, and Redding in Northern California. So definitely hot for Boise this weekend. Now, I mentioned that we do possibly have some changes coming at the start of next week. We could see those sometime as early as Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So now this is looking at Saturday afternoon. We can see some precipitation on the move through central Oregon. Now, this is a little far out to be looking, so this model is not extremely high resolution, and it's not a guarantee at this point. It's a little ways out to say, but as far as we can see right now, it does look like we have some moisture coming to Idaho on Sunday. It looks like it's going to pop up in the mountains at this point. Definitely could get to the valleys though as well. Now, with these storms chances this weekend, we have a couple concerns. We've been very dry and we're still going to be dry surface level this weekend. However, we're looking at some moisture increasing higher in the atmosphere. That those two things combined means that we have a chance of seeing dry lightning. Dry lightning is a big concern when it comes to fire weather, so that means we have critical fire conditions in place for this weekend. Again, potential midweek moisture sometime next week. That is looking a little far out at this point, but these are our storm chances in the Treasure Valley as far as we can see right now. Because it is looking so far ahead to next week, some models are disagreeing on how much moisture we will get and when exactly we will get it. This model right here seems to think that Monday is our best chance for seeing moisture in the Treasure Valley at a 30% chance. And you can see that this model also thinks Wednesday has no chance of seeing moisture. However, I have seen other models saying that Wednesday has our best chance for some moisture next week. So again, we'll have to see how it plays out as we get closer to it. The mountains will also be really warm over the next several days. They may see clouds come and go, but not looking at a ton of moisture either until we see those storm chances roll in. Still going to be upper 80s, low 90s in the central mountains. McCall, west central mountains going to be in the 80s to the low 90s as well. Lots of sunshine still expected around the region, so still time to drink plenty of water, time to wear sunscreen as well because it will be very hot region wide. McCall does have some chances for seeing precipitation over the next several days as well. They obviously have different weather patterns in the mountains compared to the valleys in southwest Idaho, so you can see that these rain and storm chances differ from what we looked at in the Treasure Valley. Here in the west central mountains, they have a little bit more chances each day, although those percentages may be slightly lower. You can see on this model does think that Wednesday has the best chance for precipitation, 30% in McCall, Idaho. Now, precipitation has been very limited so far in the month of August. We don't typically see a lot of precipitation overall for the month of August, but we are even further behind for Boise as far as we are right now, which is about 2/3 of the way through the month. We're only less than 2 weeks from meteorological fall starting. But look at these precipitation numbers. They are very low. Boise seen just 2/100ths of an inch so far in the several weeks of August. McCall seen just under a quarter of an inch, so one of the areas with the most precipitation seen for this month so far. Places like Twin Falls and Ontario only seeing a trace. Halfway Oregon seeing just under 0.2 of an inch so far as well. Now, we are getting closer to autumn. Meteorological fall is marked on September 1st every year, so not the same fall that we typically think of, but in meteorology terms, we do measure fall based on the same day every year as we do the other seasons, because that makes it easier to measure how much our seasons change year over year. So less than 2 weeks till meteorological fall on September 1st, also happens to be the same day as Labor Day this year. Looking at the mountains over the next several days, 80 degrees for the second half of the work week, jumping to warmer temperatures for the weekend. If we look at Twin Falls here, you can see that we are looking at 80s for Thursday this work week, but then quickly jumping to the 90s. Fortunately, then cooling back down to the 80s for the next several days. A little bit more pleasant in the Magic Valley than what we're expecting in the Treasure Valley for Boise. 92 Thursday, 96 Friday, Saturday, warmest day of the week, 99 degrees for Boise, but we are expecting triple digits in some parts of the Treasure Valley. We will stay in the 90s for a good amount of time in Boise. Hopefully we do dip down to the 80s sometime in the middle of the next work week, and hopefully we do see some precipitation as well. Thanks so much for tuning into our First Alert Forecast Plus. We will catch you next time.